Greetings all, this is Dickie Adams with PocketNow.com, and today we're taking a closer look at the hardware on the T-Mobile HTC Flyer. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. For those of you who may have missed out on our unboxing, we're going to do a real quick recap of the specs. The HTC Flyer from T-Mobile has a 1.5 gigahertz Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. It's got a gig of RAM, and it's got 32 gigs of internal storage, and you have an option for 32 gigs of additional micro SD storage underneath this little panel up here. The Snapdragon processor is really fast. As we showed in kind of the software review, things are very snappy. It works very quickly. There's hardly any lockups, and there were just a few op times where the Sense actually crashed. We covered that in the software tour, a little closer look there. It's got GSM. It's got high bandwidth capabilities there. It's the HSPA Plus. I'm going to go down here to speed test and show you some of our results here. So as you can see here, we got up to 5690 here, and then I dropped down into some lower speeds with the that was the up 14 down, 522 down and 722 up, and then the lower end speeds here, 3000 and 600 up and down there. So really, the HSPA Plus, the T-Mobile service on this has been fantastic. Even on the road where there normally is a lot of pockets, I haven't had any troubles getting signal on this device. It's got GPS, Bluetooth 3.0, Wi-Fi, B, G, and N. The capacitive buttons down here, there's 3 of them versus the normal 4, and then the 4th button is this green button here, which is actually for the pin. You touch this, and if you look at our software review, it enables the functionality in the N-Trig screen, which we'll talk about in a second, that allows you to write on the screen. Due to the fact that it's not running honeycomb or ice cream sandwich at this point, that pin functionality is limited, but it's supposed to get better. One feature I like about these buttons here is that you can rotate them to the other side. When you tilt the device, it shifts this down, and then the green button moves over to here, and then when you swap it back, then it rotates back around. The problem with this is if you're holding the device like this and you flip the device around, then what you get is the button starts getting pressed automatically. There's no way around that, and you can see the menu starts popping up. If you're holding on to the home button, what you'll get is the home screen. So a little bit unfortunate there, something you just have to be aware of if you are navigating with this device, not to hold it across this point or this point if you're rotating the device back and forth. It's got a 7-inch TFT display. It's got the N-Trig digitizer, which is what the pin uses. 1024 by 600 resolution, and as you can see, the screen is nice and bright. This is on full brightness right now. Really easy to view. In sunlight, it gets washed out a little bit, but it still does a remarkable job of keeping that brightness. The brightness is almost too bright in complete black, almost hurting your eyes bright still if with all the lights out and you turn the brightness way down to be able to read. The glass itself is not Gorilla Glass, unfortunately. This device here has already got some dents in it. It's a previous review unit, but it's got some scratches and dings in it. So if you have this device, my recommendation for this particular device, since it doesn't use Gorilla Glass, is to get a screen protector. The outside chrome has taken a little bit of dinging and denting as well, but not nearly as bad as the glass. Dimensions, we've got 7.69 by 4.8 by 0.52, the thickness there, 0.52. It's not terribly svelte, but it is certainly nice in the hand. 14.82 ounces, a little heavier than some other devices, but not terribly heavy in the hand either, especially with this little bump here on the back that you can hold on to. Makes the device a little easier to hold on to in the portrait mode, and then when you're in landscape here, it gives you another little grip point, especially with these little 2 side beveled edges here. Makes for a nice handheld feel. It's got a 4,000 milliamp battery. 1,470 hours is the noted battery life on this. I found that really this gets amazing battery life, especially considering with the 3G radio on all the time. I've been very impressed with the battery life on this device. 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera does a fairly okay job of pictures. It's better for Skype type functionality, and you get what you would expect out of a 1.3 megapixel camera. On the reverse side, you've got the 5 megapixel camera here. It's, again, nothing special. It can do 720p video, but that 720p video is just resolution. It doesn't mean 720p quality. Autofocus camera, no flash, and then if you take this cover off, this whole piece snaps off, and there's just a piece covering up this camera. Just slides right off. Speakers are plenty loud enough for this device, a little tinny, but it's perfectly serviceable for watching Netflix on the go or with your child or yourself in a restaurant or otherwise. Volume rockers here are nice and solid, no problems there. Headphone jack on the top slides in very nicely, and the sound out of it was really great. Coming back to the hardware form factor of this device, I really like this size, the 7-inch size. So it'll be really interesting to see with the next few devices that are coming out. The 7-inch screen size makes it very nice to hold in the hand and easy to use when reading. It's a little small when viewing like graphic novels or comic books compared to the iPad. We'll get more into comparisons in the next video, but needless to say, it's still very, very nice size form factor and easy to carry around in a bag versus the 10-inch tablets, which are a little bulkier and a little more difficult to manage. As far as the case and build is concerned, it's a very solid device, very little flex. There's no popping or cracking that happens like the HTC, or sorry, not the HTC, but the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1 that we reviewed. Compared to other devices in the same size class like the Nook Color, this has got a much nicer build quality than the Nook Color does. And that wraps up our closer look at the hardware on the HTC Flyer from T-Mobile. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to see in the next video or on this particular video, we got the comparison view coming up with some iPads and some other devices. Leave us a note in the comments and we'll get back to them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.